Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to So NWA. We're your hosts, Juan Carlos and Enrique, two local realtors here celebrating the people behind the place that make Northwest Arkansas special.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, being a realtor is all about relationship, and we think this podcast is just another way to serve, another way to connect, and just keep building something meaningful here in Northwest Arkansas. And shout out to the mayor, P. Ridge, Nathan, for connecting us with our guest today.
Yeah, definitely want to give out shout to the mayor of Pea Ridge, Nathan Sees, for connecting my Enrique and I with this special guest that we have on today. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome Mr. Kevin Bennoch, the owner of Peddler's Pub here in Bentonville. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Man, we really appreciate you being here. Again, Nathan, for if you're listening, we really want to thank you for connecting us, and we couldn't be more excited to host you here. So thank you again.
Yeah, it's we had actually been talking about wanting to get somebody in the restaurant industry here
Mhm.
local to our area, and so whenever he let me know that we were gonna have you as a guest, we were over the moon excited.
Yeah, we really were. And also, Kevin, you are our first food and beverage guest in
Oh,
our podcast.
fantastic.
So you'll forever claim that title with us. So thank you so much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Well, gentlemen, how we doing today? I always like to ask that question to really just understand how our week has been and where we're coming from. Enrique, what's new with you, man?
Man, it's been so far so good. It's a barely Tuesday. I think it's a good week. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the nice weather.
Yeah.
Yesterday and today it's going to be sunny. I think for the rest of the week it might be a little bit rainy and cloudy, but
Mhm.
other than that, doing good. Business is good, so I'm
Yeah.
feeling blessed.
That's awesome. We took a little break off from recording
We did.
podcasts. Technically, when you're hearing these episodes, they should be coming out on a weekly basis. But Enrique and I, we took almost like a month off
Yeah.
from recording an episode with the guest. So it feels good to be back in the swing of things. But Kevin, how about you, man?
Yeah.
How was everything?
It's been a good week.
Yes.
With Easter, we had
Yeah.
the pub open on Easter. And
Yes.
So people could come out and they had family in town, that sort of thing. So that and a couple rainy days that were kind of nice
Yeah.
to sit inside and put off all the duties that need to be done for 2
Yeah.
days was kind of refreshing.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Earlier, when you arrived, you were talking about there's a race that you guys are getting prepared for, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Tell us about that.
the Peddler's Pub, along with some of our other sponsors, Custom Electronics, Meteor Cafe, and Garver Engineering, we put on a race and have for really about the last 8 years, probably. It's called the Peddler's Bash, and it's in the vein of a marathon mountain bike race. I think the long course is 47 miles,
Oh
and it
wow.
goes through Bentonville, Bella Vista, all the trail systems, Blowing Springs. Kind of hits all the highlights and starts at the pub, finishes at the pub, and then we just kind of throw a big party afterwards and for all the racers and all their family, and it's a lot of fun. And we normally do it in the spring, and so it's one of those hope for good weather and.
Yeah.
True.
Which normally we get, even
Yes.
if it's starts out bad, it usually ends with decent temperatures. So
That's true.
yeah, that's on May 3rd. So that's right around the corner.
Yeah, coming soon.
Yeah,
So,
very soon. Very
yeah,
soon.
we'll make sure to share it on our social media.
Oh,
so
awesome.
anybody
That'd be
that's interested.
great.
How would be the sign up for that? Are sign-ups
So
closed right now, or
it's open till the day before. So you can go to Bike Reg, which is a pretty common sign up spot for races of any kind, really. Just search Peddler's Bash 2025 and it'll pull up and give you all the information, all the categories. You can pay on there, get your registration in. So you basically show up on the day or the night before, get your number and just race all day.
Yeah.
So,
And party all night at
and party
Peddler's.
all night at Peddler's Pub. There you go.
That's cool. That's cool.
love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Let's dive right into this, Kevin and Enriquez. So something that I saw here on this random question generator is, well, and I'll start with Kevin first. What do you think would be the worst thing about being famous?
Oh, just all the attention.
Simple. I like it.
People recognizing you and not giving you your privacy.
Yeah. Man, okay.
I appreciate my privacy, and
Privacy
so
is
it's
cool. Yeah.
that would be the hardest thing probably for me.
Okay. Okay. Enrique, how about you?
I would say I'm in the same boat.
Okay.
That, and then on top of that, if you're like a figure, right, to a lot of people, I think, and this may not be a bad thing, but maybe you're held to a certain standard,
Sure.
and it could be for maybe something good or something bad. I guess it just depends on the person's personality, right?
Yeah.
But going back to what Kevin said, I think I saw a video about the late Michael Jackson. His dream was to go to a grocery store and just shop
Right.
like a normal person.
Mm,
You know, something
Yeah,
so
that'd be
simple.
difficult.
Oh
It'd be
yeah.
yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. I would say, yeah, the privacy, just kind of, because you hear that a lot, right? You hear that with just, I guess, famous people.
Yeah.
They can't go down the street to go grab a burger or a
Sure.
grocery store or something like that without it getting crazy. And I think, I guess that's really challenging. We probably don't think of it like that, but
Yeah.
now when that's taken away and you can't really kind of turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, it's different if you go and you see people you know and people that you have history with, and you have something, substantial to talk about. Whereas if you're just walking down the street as a famous person, the intentions are probably a little different,
Mhm.
Yeah.
than-
Can I get a picture?
yeah,
Just
sure, of
everyone
course.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Not much
true.
substance in the
Yeah, there's just not
conversation.
much there. You just a famous person getting a picture again, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be tough. I couldn't imagine not being able to go like a restaurant or just anywhere in public. I feel like it'd be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be. There's the opposite too, right? It's like you walk into a restaurant and they'll clear a table for you, and it's like, oh,
Sure.
that's just them too,
Oh,
right?
true.
But I mean, I don't know, right? That's the other part of that. But no, I think privacy is big.
Mhm.
Having it is better than not having.
You
Like
bet.
having that option and doing it, and like I said, having that privacy is better than almost not having it, and not even getting the option to have it. Right?
Mhm.
Just you can just go to your house and
Yeah, you can't turn it off.
yeah, you can't turn it off.
Mhm.
Well, kind of in that same realm, this is kind of cool. Is what's the most famous person you've met in your life? If you had to, Enrique, I'll start with you.
The mayor of Pea Ridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
He's
Shout out
local
to-
here. A lot of people know him.
Yeah.
Like I said in that episode, I had never sat down in a
Yeah.
room,
Mhm.
let alone had a conversation for an entire hour with somebody at his level.
Mhm.
So for me, I would say him. He's
Yeah.
the mayor of Pea Ridge.
Mayor of Pea
Nathan.
Ridge?
Yeah.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Celebrities? No, I've never met a
Or celebrity or
before.
anything.
Never.
Anyone famous?
No
Okay, okay.
celebrities.
Okay. Kevin.
Sam Kinison. He was a comedian.
Sam Kinison.
Yeah, and he's a hilarious comedian, and I loved him. And we were at my aunt and uncle's house in Houston, or no, we were in Tulsa. And
Oh, I see.
I woke up one morning and there was a big tour bus right outside the window, and apparently his parents lived across the street,
No way.
and he was in visiting.
Oh.
And then, funny enough, that morning he was out there with the hood of his car up, and I went up and used that as my opportunity to say something to him. Say, hey, you need any help or anything? And
Yeah.
he didn't, but I sat there and talked to him for a little bit. And
That's cool.
So yeah, that's
That's
probably
pretty
the
cool.
most famous person I've ever met.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Where was that at? If you don't mind.
Tulsa.
In Tulsa.
Mhm.
Is that where you grew up originally, or
No, my mom lived there and worked there for several years. So I got to know Tulsa pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And my aunt and uncle lived there. So,
Okay.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, well, let's dive into that a little bit. You're not originally from Tulsa. Talk to us about, and right now we're in Northwest Arkansas, right?
Sure.
Talk to us about your backstory. Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
So I'm around the Springfield area. So where I went to school was a town called Rogersville. So that's where I lived, and that's the community that I lived in with my dad. And it's a very similar relationship that Pea Ridge has to Bentonville. Not very far from Bentonville, but a very small community, farm-based community, lots of agriculture. But it was still only 25 minutes to get into Springfield, or 30 minutes to get into Springfield. So grew up there, and then went to college in Central Methodist College, or it's now Central Methodist University. And that was in Missouri, northern Missouri, Fayette, Missouri. and was there through that. Then I I applied to the Peace Corps when I was in college, and I got accepted, and I went into the Peace Corps upon graduating college, and was stationed in the Philippines and lived there for 2 years and a few months, and came back to Springfield. I had been a rugby player for before I left the States in Columbia, Missouri. And so immediately when I left the Philippines, I went over to New Zealand, played rugby over there for a little while,
Oh wow.
and
That's cool.
met a bunch of friends and teammates
Yeah.
there that I became longtime friends with, and then moved back to Springfield. And sort of, although I had some friends in Springfield, I immediately reconnected with the rugby club there, and started playing rugby with the Springfield club. And we would go down to Fayetteville for rugby tournaments a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So I knew a lot of people from the Fayetteville area, um, and one of my friends, Liz O'Connell, who was a rugby player, she worked at the Ozark Natural Science Center, and she said, "Well, hey, they have a position open," and that was my degree, was in science education. And she said, "You should apply and come check it out." And the Ozark Natural Science Center is in between Huntsville and Eureka Springs,
Hmm.
in just a beautiful wildlife management area back through there, and just a wonderful place. And so I went down to interview and got the job, and moved down there and lived out there, and then was in and out of Fayetteville weekly for uh, just doing stuff, seeing music, visiting some friends, and playing ultimate frisbee. And I lived there for 15 years, something like that.
There you go.
And then I was a teacher, so I had originally gone to the Ozark Natural Science Center. I'd worked there 3 years, and then I moved into Fayetteville to work at the Lake Fayetteville Environmental Studies Center, which is part of the Fayetteville Public School System and the Springdale Public School System. Outdoor education that was coordinated with the curriculum, both school systems. So I did that. I was there 12 years of my 15 years down there. And then I just sort of started looking to change a little bit, and wasn't really interested in teaching as much anymore, and started thinking about opening my own business. And my wife, who at the time I met down in Fayetteville, Leslie, she and I started talking through, and I started wondering what it might be. And I'd been in the restaurant and bar business all my life, working different places, and
Right.
always kind of wanted to do that.
Mhm.
And this was sort of a time where I thought, maybe this is what I need to do. I have experience in it already, and just spent a lot of time researching. And sort of when I had checked off all the boxes of what I didn't know, and had researched stuff, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and give it a shot. So we were planning on opening up in Fayetteville, but just weren't finding any places that felt good to us to
Yeah.
open up in. And Leslie is from Bentonville, and she came up and was met a bunch of her friends up in Bentonville, and said, it's changed a little bit. It's pretty happening, and maybe we should look up there. So we started looking, and we came across the building that we started in.
Yeah.
And we loved it. It was on the bike trail. It was in across from the old Farmers Exchange. It wasn't very busy, but it was easy to get to. It wasn't very far. So we sort of bit the bullet and said, let's do it. And that was in 2014.
Okay.
So and then as we just things were coming up. We were kind of looking to change buildings. We didn't really want to change locations.
Mhm.
And the old CrossFit Northwest Arkansas building behind Gearhead,
Yep.
the Lawsons were friends of our family, and they had mentioned, "Hey, we've got this building coming up. Would you have any desire in looking at it.
Yeah.
Originally, I said no because it was 9,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Man, it was just bigger than we were thinking, but it allowed us to make the change without really moving locations because it's literally about 100 yards away from where we were. So
You know, and I'm curious, what was the square footage of the original
it was
location?
20. It was a little less than 2,500 square feet.
Okay.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you almost tripled it.
You know, for the audience here, you know, as we do this episode, it's so funny because, you know, as Kevin was talking about
Mhm.
and open up his own business, I kid you not, I can imagine him as a outdoor ed teacher.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he's had some great stories, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, I just love that. And now we know he transitioned into having his own business and opening up Peddler's Pub, and I can just say in the original location, there's definitely been some great times,
You
and I'm
bet.
sure even more so
Very
now in the
memorable. Yeah,
yeah,
very
it is. It
memorable.
is, and even more so probably in this newer location. You know,
Yeah,
as the town gets bigger and things like that.
you
But
bet.
you've essentially answered what inspired you to open Peddler's Pub.
Mhm.
Was it to get out of teaching and to kind of you know, start your own business? Is that
It was mostly just to work for myself.
okay?
You know,
Okay.
I enjoyed teaching. I loved, teaching with kids and doing some of that. I just got to the point where I really wanted to be in control of more
Yeah.
of what I did on a
Yeah.
daily basis. And the restaurant, I mean, I suppose it's true for any business, but the nice thing about the restaurant, there's so many ways to do things your own way.
Right.
The menu, what it is you're cooking, um, how much of it you're cooking, how diverse do you want the menu to be? Where it seems like there's always a lot of pressure that goes into that with some people, but for me, it was sort of total freedom. That
Right.
if I feel strongly about having a small menu, or if I feel strongly about this pricing structure, then that's what it's going to be. And the beauty of that to me is that, if it doesn't work out, it's your own call. It didn't work out. It's a realization that now maybe that
Mm,
was the wrong
oh,
way to go.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you make changes. So
Yeah. I think that's real common among the many entrepreneurs that I've spoken to, and I'm sure Juan
mhm,
Carlos can attest to that as well. We're technically in that same
mhm,
realm, right?
you bet.
We work for ourselves, right? We're
Mhm,
realtors. We have to run our business as a business because
mhm,
that's what it is. We're business owners. And so just having that freedom to do what you want and do it right and do it
sure.
on your own terms is the biggest thing. At least for
Mhm,
me, when it came to being in real
you
estate,
bet.
that was the biggest factor. And that's
Mhm.
pretty common with many
And what
entrepreneurs.
you find out when you look at so many businesses and so many different ways of doing things, and when so many people follow the same model, that's not freedom to me. If you don't 100% disagree, don't 100% agree with that model, then you can change the model and you can make it, you know, if
Absolutely.
if one way doesn't give you the customer satisfaction that you're looking, and you have a way that you want to satisfy customers that you think will work, you can do it that way and see how it works. And I love that.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
the ability to just change and you know
It
come
really
up with your own plan as opposed to what
yeah.
what does the template say.
You're running your own ship. It is true. You know, being in real estate and kind of controlling your own businesses and or business, and you have to kind of make it work, or you have to try different things to find out what works
Hmm.
best for you because it can be different for everyone. But that freedom is pretty priceless.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
bet.
just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Hmm.
But also, when you find out what works for you, it's almost like that light bulb
You bet.
goes off, and you're
And
like,
it's
oh, this just feels so good.
confirms
Yeah, yeah,
confirms that
yeah.
you made the right choice, and
Correct.
Right.
that's all. That always feels good.
You're the name Peddler's Pub.
Hmm.
I can guess. I feel like I can guess why the name, but
Yeah,
I'd love to know the story behind it. You know, even the details of where maybe I remember I was in my kitchen and
sure,
I came up with the restaurant name and it just clicked. I want to know that
sure.
story. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Leslie and I, we, of course, like you would, like it's sort of like naming a child. You sit down and you say, "What about this? What about that? Nah, I don't like that. Nah, I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
that."
Yeah.
And so um, so my sister and my mom live in Seattle, and so I had this plan that I was going to fly to Seattle with my bike, and then I was going to ride from Seattle back to Fayetteville. And
Nice.
that was in, I think, 2001. And so I did that. And, the best part of that trip was that you're totally solo. So your entertainment is 100% based on who you meet, what you see, because you don't know anybody along.
Yeah.
And you're on the road pedaling nonstop, so I was toward the end of my trip, and I was in Oklahoma, and it was toward the end of the day, and I've pulled up, and there was this huge, big, freshly mown yard that was probably 5 acres, 3 or 4 acres of yard, and a trailer and a shop in the back, and a bunch of guys sitting around tailgate of their truck. And I thought, these guys surely would let me pitch my tent in their yard somewhere, even if it's away from their house, just anywhere here in the grass. Yeah. So I ride up there, and there's about 5, 6 guys, and they're drinking beer and carrying on, and they're so welcoming to me, and they're so interested in what I'm doing. And of course you can stay here, and of course you can,
Yeah.
and they stayed there all, most of the night, and they were barbecuing and the rest. And one of the guys kept calling me the peddler. And he was kind of an old timer. He had overalls on, long beard, and he just all night kept saying, "Peddler, what do you think about this?" Maybe we should ask the peddler what he thinks about that. And we sort of had this great night. And so when we were sitting around talking about names, I was like, "Well, what about the Peddler's Pub? This guy," and we both liked it. And so.
That's cool.
That's a really nice
That's
story.
a cool story.
Yeah.
How many people do you think know that story? Do your employees or your
there's
staff?
a few.
There's a few. Okay.
Most of the employees probably don't know it.
Okay.
So it's a little. We're getting the inside scoop a little bit.
Yeah. That's right.
That's cool. The peddler referring to.
Yeah, I don't think about it very often because it happened so long ago. But
that's
so
awesome.
in a way, it's like Kevin's Pub.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like the peddler in a way,
Yeah.
but now it's obviously Bentonville.
Yeah.
And it's hyphenated. So my thought was that to look at the name, it says this belongs to the peddlers, to the people that peddle. Even though it was directed at me, the name, but when I see it as an apostrophe S, I think this belongs to the people that ride bikes.
Yeah. Let's talk about your journey from Seattle to back here to
Sure.
Fayetteville. How many miles was that?
It was 2,415.
Oh man. Okay, 2,415
Yeah.
miles. So
Yeah.
you mentioned you pitched a tent in those people's yards. Was that a challenge that you ran into trying to figure out where to sleep? Or...
Usually it wasn't. It wasn't too difficult. It was pretty clear what I was doing. For people to look at me, it was kind of clear what something was going. I pulling a trailer behind my bike, and it was filthy and smelly probably, and all the rest. But most people had no problem with me, pitching a tent in their yard, using their bathroom. But most of the time I would just find a place. When I knew I was getting close to the end of my ride day, I would just start looking, could I stow away here for the night, and nobody. I would sometimes wait till a little later to set up my tent so it didn't look too inconspicuous, But otherwise, people were very accommodating.
That's awesome.
And cool. It was fun to just randomly meet people. And but
is that something you would want to do again?
Oh yeah,
or have a long ride. What's stopping you from doing another long ride?
Oh, the pub, 2 kids, work, the list goes on. But I mean, we did, my family really pulled together a few years ago, and my wife and I did the bicycle tour of Colorado, which is, it's like a 500-mile ride through Colorado, and it's supported. So they're wonderful rides. You come with your bags packed, and you check your bags in, and you put them on the U-Haul or whatever, and then you start riding. You don't have to carry any of your gear. There's aid stations along the way, and fruit and drink and some snacks and that
Mhm.
sort of stuff. Um, and they take your gear to the next stop, and
Oh,
you roll in there, grab your gear, set your stuff up, tent, chairs, whatever, set your little camp up, and everybody's doing that. It's a great experience. It's just
Nice.
what?
everybody doing the exact same thing. They did the same ride.
Yeah.
And then in the morning you pack up and you put your stuff on the U-Haul, and then you do
Just
your
keep on
ride.
riding.
Yeah, you just do that for a week, and we had a ball, and my family really pulled together. Speaking to why don't we do it now? It's because it's logistically it's a lot
That's
of
hard.
time,
Yeah, yeah.
and a lot of
Um,
time out of communication too,
Sure.
that sort of thing. But
just curious, in a what are those called?
they're just bike tours.
Bike tours?
Yeah, and
Okay.
this was Bicycle Tour Colorado, and they got them. I mean,
Yeah.
many states have them.
What is kind of the average distance between one station and another? If just
50 to 70. Usually
something like
on
that.
those tours, there's a 100-mile day maybe.
Okay.
But most of them, 50 to 70 miles a
That's
day.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had seen this video on TikTok,
Love to do
and it was this guy. I think he's about 20 now, 21, 22 now,
Hmm.
but he started a biking tour on his own, a solo journey, and
Yeah.
he started from Alaska and he biked all the way down to Patagonia.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how many miles that is,
That's
but
awesome. Yeah.
that's super far.
Oh yeah.
Super
Man, what an
far.
experience. I would love to do
Yeah.
something
Well,
like
and it
that.
becomes part of it becomes kind of your life,
Yeah.
wake up and ride. And I would meet people on the road doing the same thing. They've been out there for 2 years.
No way.
Yeah, oh no, now I got to go south because it's going to be too cold to go north, so I'll go south before I can go north, and
Oh wow.
I got to hit this state, but I can't do it right now, and
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's a whole culture, really.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Biking as a culture is huge,
Oh,
especially here in our area in
yeah.
Bentonville.
Mhm.
So that's something that we were curious about. We're named as the mountain biking capital of the world here in Northwest
Mhm.
Arkansas. How has that shaped your business? Has that influenced your business a
No,
lot with it being, especially in downtown Bentonville?
sure, it's been great for business. I mean, the majority of our business is families, and in those families there are many cyclists a lot of times, but of course the tourism part
Hmm.
is I mean, on in fall and spring break and vacation times and all these different breaks. I mean, there's so many cyclists that come into town, and
Right.
thankfully, a lot of people hear about the Peddlers Pub if they ride bikes, and so they come by, and maybe they're in town for the weekend, and they might come in 2, 3, 4 times the whole time they're staying. So they'll come in for lunch one day, then they come in for happy hour, then they come for dinner, or come back for lunch the next day, or
Yeah.
so. No, it's been wonderful, and there's it it truly is a great place to drop off and just ride all weekend, or
Mhm.
well, however long anybody's in riding for. It's just to ride downtown, get something to eat,
Mm,
get something to drink.
right.
And it's just very accessible. I mean, I live in Pea Ridge, and I can in 2 minutes I can be on a bike trail, and I can single track all the way into work, and this is wonderful. I mean, it takes me 20 minutes to get to work in my car, and I mean, I can be to work in 35 minutes on my bike.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not even that much time
Yeah.
difference,
It's
and you
Yeah.
still live
15
outside of
extra
town.
minutes.
Yeah.
So that's been a really it's been a big part of our business. I mean, of course, that's our target. It was part of our target in the beginning.
Sure.
It's when you're dressed in lycra, and sometimes you're not as welcome in places. You get a lot of unwelcome stares, and we wanted to be a place that wasn't like that, and that
Yeah.
it was more common to be in cycling stuff than uncommon.
Yeah,
So
it's just growing so fast here, and especially in that area. I mean,
yeah,
you see the weekend people are riding their bikes on the
Oh
road. They're
yeah.
going mountain
oh
biking. I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
our team leader Francisco, he big avid mountain biker. My
hmm
brother-in-law too.
yeah,
So just anytime I'm there in the weekend
oh
in
yeah,
Bentonville, you just see people cycling all over the place. So
hmm
it's grown to be something huge here.
for sure.
I have in my downtime, I'll be here at the house, and scrolling through Instagram or something, I'll see these biking videos on the trails, and I feel like I've psyched myself out, and I look at these rides, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that is insane. I like, I was like, I don't know if I'll get on a dirt trail.
Yeah.
I will,
Sure.
soon, but it is crazy. I can just see
Yeah.
just the movement and how fast and all these things, and I'm like, you know what? I like my greenways.
Yeah.
Just by,
Well, that's the other thing that can be said too is, from greenway to very difficult mountain biking. I mean, there's everything in between,
Yep.
and
Yep.
all of it's pretty accessible. I mean, you can get to all of it pretty easily. It's been really good for us.
Mm. Kevin, this is a good personal question regarding a menu item. I know I'm being dramatic now.
Sure.
Everyone's like, "What?" No.
Yeah.
What is in your opinion? What's one of your personal favorite items on the menu? You just got to have.
Yeah. I mean, and we just added this, but I told you I was from the Springfield area.
Yeah.
And so you may or may not know about this, but in Springfield there are Chinese restaurants on every corner.
Okay.
They're everywhere, and they serve something called Springfield style cashew chicken. And I had no idea. I lived there, in that area my whole life, and I had no idea that it was a Springfield thing. I just thought you go to a Chinese restaurant and you get cashew chicken, So then I started going outside of the area, and I go to Chinese place. I get cashew chicken. It's not the same cashew chicken, and you become addicted to it. It's so good, and it's everywhere, and it's very affordable. And at the time they had all these Chinese buffets, and it was on all the buffets, and it's basically chunks of, essentially Southern fried chicken chunks on rice with a gravy that's it's like it's a brown gravy. It's oyster sauce and soy sauce, and it's very palatable. It's nothing fancy, and then it's topped with scallions and toasted cashews.
Okay.
And so that's probably, and we added it to our menu when we moved because we had to add a fryer because our fryers we fry fries and wings in, and both of those are naked, so they don't have any batter on them. So both of them are very gluten-free friendly to be able to sell those items. So we didn't want to use one of those fryers to use fry with batter.
Right.
So when we moved, we incorporated into the kitchen that we added a fryer so we could be frying cashew chicken.
There it is.
Yeah. So that's probably my favorite.
Okay.
As far as pizzas go, my favorite pizza is the Italian, which is a roasted garlic and olive oil base, light base, prosciutto, fresh mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, and then when it comes out of the oven, it's topped with arugula.
Okay.
And we get all of the majority of our produce from a hydroponic produce company out of Decatur, and it's called Tabletop Greens, and they have just great stuff. And the arugula is just crispy and juicy and big and just wonderful. So that's by far my favorite pizza.
Those are the two, huh?
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's probably one of our top two best-selling pizzas, 2 or 3 top-selling pizzas.
I'm going to speak for all the spinach artichoke dip people.
Oh yeah,
got the best. You guys have one of the best spinach artichoke dips in town.
you.
For
Thank
sure.
you, yeah.
Love the bread. Love the.
You bet.
Y'all are making me hungry.
I know.
My stomach is
I know.
I hear your stomach, man.
Brought food.
Hey, there's some candy right over there.
Well, you're gonna get chewing all over the mic. No, but talking about food, I'm curious. How did you guys figure out what to add to your menu? Like, did you do like taste testing? Did you figure it out that way, or you just kind of had a blank canvas and kind of?
A lot of pizza. I can speak for pizza through the years, which we don't add a lot of pizzas because we sort of keep more of our signature pizzas, and then it gives the ability for everybody to build their own pizzas. A lot of them are from getting tired of eating the same pizza and cooking up new pizzas. The beauty of having a pizza line with all the ingredients is you can just
Right.
pull
Yeah.
off, well,
Yeah.
let's try this. Let's try this. So when we would eat pizza in the back, just after we'd eaten the Italian 1,000 times, and okay, let's try something different. Oh, this is good, and we take it out and let people sample it. And oh yeah, that's good.
That's good.
So we add like that. And the other part of that is, just customer feedback where we have maybe some gaps in the menu that we have a large vegan menu, and
You do.
and
Yes. Shout out.
something we added. I had been eating like that for a while to see what it felt like, and I realized how difficult it was to go to restaurants and get something to eat because, while there were lots of ingredients and things that you could eat, they may not have been put together in the same. So it's sort of pain in the neck. It's like, hey, could I get this with this and take this
Right.
away and put
Mhm,
this?
mhm.
And not very practical in a busy restaurant scenario because
Right.
it just
Right.
takes a lot of extra time. So we decided, and we'd had a lot of requests from people about it, and so we decided to just take kind of what we had, add a few things to be able to make sort of a comprehensive vegan menu. So
Yeah.
and that's gone over real well.
Yes, I can speak to that because a good friend of mine, we met through work, and he's a vegan. Him and his
Hmm.
wife are vegan, and I remember when they moved to town, I said, "Hey," I remember actually I didn't know this. I probably forgot, or I
Hmm.
just yeah, I guess I didn't remember, didn't know. But when a peddler's pub and turned the menu over, and it's this really, I mean, it's I almost want to say it's like almost a dozen
Yeah,
dishes,
you bet.
vegan dishes. And I
Mhm.
was like, dude, what? That's crazy. Like that's like, just
Yeah.
like you said, there just to have that list ready. I sent him a photo of it. He came, I think, a few days later and said that was probably some of the best vegan food he had.
Oh, that's great.
And he had such a great experience because, again, that was such a challenge to get these items
Hmm.
and things like that, like what you were just saying. And he's like, I think we go. He was telling me, he's like, I think we go every other week to
Yeah.
Beller's Pub to eat,
Yeah, you
because of
bet.
their, you guys just have such a great vegan menu.
Yeah.
So that's how I shout out
Yeah.
to that.
No, it's just
Yeah,
been good.
yeah,
It was a good addition.
yes,
Hmm.
definitely. How do you, Peddler's Pub's been open, I think, a little over 10 years now, right?
Hmm.
How do you feel that it's, you guys moved into this new location,
Hmm.
Bentonville is growing, the Bentonville scene is getting larger. How do you feel, or do you feel that you're staying with that Bentonville scene, the growth in Bentonville and Peddler's Pub? Are they kind of moving together, if you will, in that
Yeah.
sense?
I do. I mean, I think the best thing that businesses can do within a community are to be their own business. And something I saw when I moved to Bentonville was a lot of the same kind of restaurants opening,
Hmm.
targeting the same price point, targeting the same group of people. Um, and we came in and we're a very casual place,
Mm.
um, and a different type of food and a very approachable type of food, not fancy. Um, and I think
It is.
that's what people appreciate about any business is that it's a genuine business. And my wife and I, when we started the business, there were just a lot of things that we wanted to be a good employer. We wanted to be a place that people wanted to work, place where people felt good about working there, felt good about the clientele that's coming in there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so, goals for us was to, as far as the community goes, was just to be a good business from our standpoint. Treat people good, treat people fairly, be affordable,
Yeah. Yeah.
and have a relaxed atmosphere. Which in our new place, it's even better because we had so much extra space. We put in 2 pool tables, um, and that's been fantastic. We put in nice pool tables, so they're 8-foot pool tables, so they're fun to play on. And they've really gotten traction. I mean, people are really enjoying it, and we enjoy playing pool. And when we would have a night out to go, whatever uh, we we'd have to go to Rogers to find a pool table, or
Yeah.
or this one pool table at this place is packed up all night. There's no way we're going to get on
Right.
it, or
Right.
we don't really want to play the guy who won the last game. We want to rent the pool table for an hour
Right.
Yeah.
and play however we want to play. So that was the sort of impetus for the pool tables. And then we had another large space, And another growing thing in Northwest Arkansas is golf. And so
True. The golf scene here.
we
Yeah.
put in the golf simulator. It's its own private room. You get your own. It's $50 an hour, not per person, but just $50 an hour
Nice.
to play golf. Your server comes in, gets you drinks and food, and you never really have to leave the room.
I didn't know that.
And it's its own.
That's
It's its
cool.
own thing. So we're just kind of getting that off the ground a little bit, but. And it's a wonderful, I mean, it's a very lifelike golf experience. It's a 9-foot by 16-foot
Oh, wow.
screen that you're hitting into.
Yeah.
So that's been good, you know. And that helped us suck up some of the space with a little bit of recreation, you know, so
Yeah.
kind of fun to do.
That is cool.
And that has worked out really well.
For the golf room area, how many people does it hold?
I mean,
Or can
it's pretty easy to get 12 or 15 people in there.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So it's large.
It's lounge seating basically. So there's
Ooh.
a large couch and a couple lounge chairs, and then a high top table with 2 comfortable chairs, and then a little bar area that, you know, it's just
Nice.
that we put food on for, and then there's some bar stools there. So it's, I mean, you know, the best experience is not to have much more than 4 people playing golf, maybe 5. Because it, you know, it moves pretty slow if you have everybody, and everybody's having a good time, and then they're talking stories. Oh, whose turn is it? And then,
True.
you know, so it's a little,
Yeah.
But to go in there as golfers and to go in there and say, hey, let's play 18 holes, and we want to play Pebble Beach, and we're going to play Pebble Beach, and you know, you can get done in about 3 hours, similar to a golf round.
Yeah, there you go. So 2014, right? Is that
Correct?
You started.
Mm-hmm.
So about 10 years, give or take.
Yeah, it will
Compared
be
to
11 years in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are you doing anything special for the 11-year anniversary?
I doubt it. We normally don't.
Nice.
We
Just keep it.
We say we're going to, and then we don't. But everybody that's been there for a long time, you know, we kind of rally, and everybody shows up for happy hour and has a good time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious to know, compared to when you first started back in 2014 to where we're at now, what has changed since you first opened the restaurant? What have you kept the same? What are you going to change if there are changes coming?
Yeah. I mean, you know, with the exception of moving, and, you know, our biggest fear with moving was that we would have to change too much, and we didn't want to change.
Right.
We didn't really want to change. We're kind of looking for a different building. But we like things how they are. You know, the other part of our name is pub, you know, and pub is public house. It's a place for people to gather, you know, and have a good time. And my dad was born and raised in Ireland, and pub has always been part of what we've talked about and done. And when we travel, hit a pub because they're comfortable places to be, where you find locals. You know, and that was the whole idea of a pub. And people say, well, oh man, your social media is terrible and your website barely even works. And those things are all true. because and they're true because that's not an important part for us. The important part is having a place that people want to come in and come in a few days a week.
Right.
And they want to stay for an hour, and they want to hang out with everybody because these are their friends, and they catch up, and oh, hey, how'd that go? And hey, how'd your thing go? Or whatever. That is infectious. I mean, and so the huge part of our clientele are people that have been there pretty much since we opened almost 11 years ago. Yeah. And we see them, you know, a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. But they don't stay and fall off bar stools. They come in and have a drink and visit with the bartenders that they love, and all the people sitting next to them. We doubled our bar space. We doubled our number of seats at the bar when we moved, and then we have high top tables behind them that are still kind of part of the bar. And it has grown our regular crowd because now there's a little bit more room for more regulars, and so that's what we find. So we don't really like to change all that much.
I think that's good though. I think it's almost paying an homage to your mission and the original location prior to changing. So I appreciate that as a consumer. You know, going to find a restaurant that likes to keep it casual and very inviting environment. To me, that's super valuable.
It is.
We've always had all the jerseys on the wall, and
Yeah.
it just basically allowed us to have more room for jerseys and more memorabilia and more just stuff, But we tried to keep it, as close to the same as we could, and
Nice.
and it's worked out good,
I will say, when you arrived earlier, and we were just talking, and this is something I definitely wanted to highlight, was I remember just the feeling when we first went to Peddler's Pub, and it definitely feels comfortable. It does feel family oriented, but yet you have people at the bar drinking, but it just doesn't feel. It just feels more of a family environment,
diverse,
an adult family environment. Like I said, drinking and having with your kids and pizza with your family and stuff like that, right? It definitely has that feel to it. You don't feel like in maybe other places.
Yeah, we don't want the point of it is not that slosh people in and out of there. It's just it's to everybody be able to enjoy. And early we talked a little bit about just the idea of when you go to the grocery store and you see the parents of somebody that your kid goes to school with, and you know them because they play sports together, and you sit in the stands together, and you've had a conversation, and you've made a friendship. And that's what it is at the pub. Is the same sort of thing. It's like people go there once, and they end up making a friendship with somebody that they talked to, or they had something in common with, and then they say, "Hey, that was a good time. I think I'll come back again." You guys are here all the time? Okay, yeah, but I'll come a couple days a week, and we'll catch up and have a beer, and then and then 6 o'clock I'm on the way home.
Right.
A lot of that. So
I like that.
So it's and we protect that. We don't want it to become anything but that. We don't want it to be sloshing people in and out of there.
Right. This is kind of a funny question. If Peddler's Pub had a soundtrack, what song would be on it? What's one of the songs that would be on it?
The Wheel. That's a Grateful Dead song.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it.
Basically about the wheel turning around, and you can't stop it, and it just keep on going, keeps turning. Get out of the way.
We're gonna have to clip that like on Instagram, kind of put that over your picture maybe when we upload the episode.
The Wheel, great. Got it.
I love it. I love it. So something we like to do here, Kevin, on this podcast is we really like to give you a moment to give a shout out to anyone that you think deserves it. And we tell all of our guests, like, don't feel bad if maybe you forgot someone. And if you don't want to give anything specific to not make anyone feel bad, that's fine as well. But any shout outs for your team, friends and family? You mentioned you have wife and 2 kids. So
my wife and my family, my in-laws live in town. I mean, they've this is part of what I decided we decided, but this was my idea of how I was going to be able to work for myself. And, my wife's like, a restaurant? But totally supported me. And she is an interior designer.
Oh, wow.
And she has done an incredible job with the first pub and all of the second pub. So, couldn't have done any of that without her. That's not my thing. And she's made it to where it's very accommodating, very welcoming. The lighting is good. And so, she deserves half the credit. And my in-laws that live in town here, they look after our kids when need be, especially in the very beginning. The agreement was that with my wife was you're not going to see me for 2 years. Till the business is kind of up and running. And it was sort of like that. I was home, but I was only 5 minutes from home at the time from the pub, but I was there opening, and I was there all day for both shifts, and I was there at the end and after you're closed. That's a big ask, but we planned on that, and that's how it worked out. So, and my family just been super supportive, and my mother and sister that are out in Seattle. While they're not here as much, but my mother's just a great influence for me. And my sister, she took all the pictures for the she's a photographer in Seattle.
Okay.
And she's out there. She came to take all the pictures for the website and all that sort of stuff. So
Cool.
yeah,
I
Awesome.
love that.
so really
It,
couldn't
it,
have
it
done it without any of those
brought
guys.
everyone kind of something y'all can work on it together or
Yeah,
have together, but everyone's kind of invested in it,
absolutely.
and it's kind of like a family,
Oh, for
a lot of
sure.
family.
And you had mentioned earlier about Christian Barrett, who,
Oh yeah.
when you started going to the
Yep.
pub,
Yep.
you kind of went because he was your guy. Like he was so
Correct.
good, and that's a really great has been so great for us. Christian, he was one of the first people I ever hired for there, so he was there before we opened, and through all the training and everything. And he was a server for 9 years, and then we needed a general manager because the place was really getting busy, and I was having to pull back a little bit with having to do stuff with kids, and
Hmm.
so he accepted the general manager position. And I mean, when I'm not there, I feel like there's nothing that he hasn't seen that I've seen,
Mm.
and there's nothing he hasn't seen how to deal with it or hasn't dealt with it on his own for the last 9 years.
Hmm.
And so he has just really done an exceptional job.
Amazing.
Along with Lisa White, our bartender, who bar manager that has been there, 9.5 years. And
Oh wow.
I mean, the cleanest part of our restaurant is our bar, and that's just never happened. That's impossible to find.
I'm hearing
You
hearing
know.
a theme here. It's a lot of family oriented
Oh
environment,
yeah, you
which
bet.
I personally always I'm a fan of.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you can notice it
Yeah.
too. When I've been to your restaurant before, you notice it right around when you walk in.
Yeah.
The environment's very inviting. The vibes are real nice. I've
Yeah,
always
yeah.
enjoyed going there.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
We were talking again when you arrived and you asked me how I got into this podcast, like,
Mhm.
the idea behind it and how it started and everything. And I told you about it, but I did say this and I've, Lord is my witness, I remembered saying to myself, you know, going kind of down this list, like who I could choose to, if I could choose, who could I
Mhm.
have just to interview and to have to pay that homage to, in this podcast. I remember in my mind, I said Peddler's Pub.
No, that's
I did.
great.
I
There you
just
go.
we always bring when our family or friends come into town. We make sure we go to Peddler's Pub. Like that's a
Mhm.
spot that we feel that everyone enjoys, and it's just a good, Enrico saying good vibes and great food, and it's just
Mhm.
reasonably priced. I mean everything,
Mhm.
and it's just I would go there over and over again every weekend. So
Great.
for sure. So it's just again just to have you here is amazing. So
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you, Kevin.
Love it. Love it. I have one more question because we do like to talk about Northwest Arkansas on this
Yeah.
podcast, right? But last question regarding your business.
Mhm.
Do you have any other ventures that you're maybe pursuing? I know we just moved to a new location. Are we just there as of
No,
now, or
that's it. And before we open, I said that this is not about chaining restaurants
yeah,
or or making a ton of money. It's about us having something that we feel good about at the end of the day. Working, having our kids around there, having our
yeah,
kids work
Mhm.
there. And at some point, as time goes on, the kids would like to be part of the pub, and other than just working there, and
yeah,
Mhm.
take it. That's always a possibility. Of course, whatever for that. But
yeah,
that was our goal. Was this is our going to be our life, and a big part of our life, not making a bunch of pubs and
sure.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, the one is all we're interested in.
Like
The only downfall to that is that we can't be in P Ridge. Because I would love that,
Really,
I love
man.
that.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know a
yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
I know a guy. He might be
yeah.
helping
Might
you.
be interested. Yeah,
I was as before you just said that, or right before you said that, I was thinking to myself, man, wouldn't that be so cool
sure.
to open up a pub? Actually, one of my things I told my wife this years ago, or even when we moved here, I said, what would be so cool would be to have like a sit down restaurant because with kind of like a brewery. That was
Sure.
a kind of in a sense, a dream of mine to open up like a
Hmm.
brewery, something local, something
Yeah.
just in the same way
Yeah.
with that mindset behind it, just family oriented, just have a good time and
Mm.
go home, nothing crazy, but also enjoy like the outdoor fields that we have here in
Yeah,
Pea
for
Ridge because
sure.
there's so much open land and
Hmm.
just have like kind of think of it like Bentonville Brewing,
Yeah.
how they have like the little area for your kids to play and your dog park and things
Hmm.
like that. I was thinking, man, to have something like that in Pea Ridge would be
Oh yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, who knows?
it's
Who knows?
right.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
right.
that's very true. Um, so Kevin, what is when you have family or friends visiting? You've been here for a while now, but when you have family or friends who are visiting Northwest Arkansas for the first time, what do you tell them? That's always I'm always curious to get the perspective of our guests, what they
Yeah.
tell their family and friends.
I mean, most of we also like to go to the lake,
Okay.
and the lake is
Ooh,
a part of what we like doing in the summertime. And my wife and I both kind of grew up going to the lake and in the summers, and uh, we just thought our kids would probably love it and enjoy it, and it's good memories. And so I mean, just the outdoor activity, the floating, the just getting out. That's the best part of Northwest Arkansas.
Mm.
Is because there's so much to get out and do, and
Yeah.
sure.
there's never been one day that I've regretted going out and doing something outdoors. Just can never think of a time where like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done
I like
that.
it. Yeah, if I
And
think back in my mind about summers that I spent with my fiance's family and my own
mhm,
family too, I don't think I've ever had a negative experience that I can think of, at
yeah,
least right
Yeah.
now. So it's
no,
always a good time.
Yeah.
it's a good place, and the community is such that there's flavor kind of everywhere.
True.
You
Hmm.
go to Rogers, you go to Springdale, you go to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
You get a little different feel in every place, and it's kind of
Correct.
unique, and it's
Yeah.
and none of it's far. That's
That's true.
Yeah.
none
Yeah.
of it's far. It's all easy to get to, and the rivers and the creeks and the lake, and
Right.
I mean, it just, and again, it's not far.
Hmm.
I live, on the edge of Bentonville and Pea Ridge in the corner.
Mm.
I mean, the boat's in the water uh, at Beaver Lake in 30 minutes.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
That's rare. Or in Bella Vista, 10, 15 minutes. You're on a lake, whether you're in a boat, a kayak, a canoe, swimming, doing whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot of recreation. So
Easy access to a lot of
easy
things here.
access. Yeah.
I
Never
really do
mind all
like
the
that.
trails and cycling. I mean, that we've already talked about.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's all just right out the
Yeah.
door.
Do you know of any hidden gems in our area
I'd
for
never
swimming
tell.
or?
I'd never tell.
Hey, that's all
Fair enough.
right.
Fair enough.
That's all right.
I'm
You know,
telling.
I'm the same way.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, you know what? We don't need to tell, but the next time you go, give me a
Yeah,
call.
there
I'll
you
go
go.
with you,
Yeah.
and I won't tell either.
Yeah.
So Kevin, this is, I think this is a question we always ask our guests,
Mhm.
and you have a past, in your defense, we ask our guests what's some of their favorite local spots, whether it be a brewery, coffee shop, restaurant,
Yeah.
etc. Now, you obviously, you can exclude Peddler's Pub because we know
Right.
that's already a favorite.
Yeah.
So where is Kevin on the weekends? With his wife, his kids. If
I mean, to be real honest, we like to stay here in town in Pea Ridge, and Diego's is one of our favorite
Diego's,
places
there it
to
is. Your
go.
photos on the wall, right?
Yeah, no,
No.
no, no. But I love it.
Okay.
We love it, and it's close to the house. So we love going there.
Okay.
In Fayetteville, when I'm working, I'm running around doing stuff. I love to go Ozark Mountain Bagel.
Okay.
Bill and Sheila started coming into our place. They're the owners of Ozark Mountain Bagel. And Tyler, their son, started coming to our place, when we opened, and they were getting ready to open up their stuff. And um, they're just good people, and the product is really good. Everything's fresh. Everything's done, that day. It's
Hmm.
good ingredients. So, I always like going there for a bagel and a snickerdoodle.
I
It's
like
like a 5-inch big snickerdoodle.
Oh boy.
It's quite to eat.
Yeah.
Love going to Blue Fish Market. Barry, first Seth, he opened it, says sushi and uh, and fish house. So I mean, they have really great local seafood. Again, Barry, they were getting ready to open up, and they were working late, and we were the only place in town that the pub opened till 11 o'clock.
Right.
So he and
Right.
his crew would always come over. So I got to
Mhm.
know him real well, and
Nice.
he's got a deep background in seafood. And
Oof,
it's
nice.
so rare that you're able to be so landlocked as Arkansas and get really good seafood from both coasts. And yeah, so he does a real good job.
Nice.
Real good job.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Yeah, so we're at the end here, wrapping up, Kevin. So something we do on this podcast, we always love to tie all the episodes together. And so our previous guests left you 2 questions. You can answer both, answer the one.
Okay.
Yeah, these questions were left by our previous guests, which was Phil and Nicole Shepard.
Okay.
You may or may not know them. They're local realtors as well, but they also do. They both work on this. How would we call it? It's like business, but it's all things NWA.
Oh, okay.
If
Sure.
you're, yeah. So they were here last, and because it was two, I had the 2 guests here.
Mhm.
They left 2 questions.
Okay.
So that's the reason why. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm game.
Yeah, so the questions are, what was your favorite vacation, and one historical event you can change? What would it be?
And I'll say this: Phil came up with the
Okay.
historical event. If you know
figured.
Phil, yeah,
Okay.
if you know Phil,
Right.
that's totally up his alley. And then the favorite vacation was Nicole's
Favorite
question.
vacation. I mean,
figured.
we have extended family. My wife's family and my family. We take, we take a ski trip in the winter with all the kids, and it's always a lot of fun.
Okay.
And
That's
then with my wife's family, most of the time we'll go to the beach and just get going to the beach with family and getting to see the cousins and their babies when you start going, and they're giving you crap the next time you see them, and and then just so on and so forth. So yeah, those are those. And what's the other one? What historical
Yeah, what historical event
event
could you change?
if you could.
Yeah, if you
If could.
Any historical event. Yeah.
That's
funny.
It is funny. I know that's
Uh,
a doozy.
Yeah, I figured it was from.
the Holocaust, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
There
The
you go.
Holocaust. Yeah,
Yeah, that one was
it's terrible.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And when I was younger, I had less interest in some of the historical stuff that had happened, as I think is true with most young people. And I've just last few years have done a lot of research on that stuff, and the worst part and to that is just because it's amazing what can happen with people if led in the wrong direction.
Right.
Yeah, it's how easily some people or groups of people can get influenced.
It can be normalized.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a question. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kevin.
So, what question would you like to ask?
What question for the
So
next
now it's your
guest?
turn to leave a question for the next guest.
What's your favorite mountain bike trail?
I like that one.
What's your favorite mountain bike trail? Cool. Yeah, I don't know who our next guest will be, but let's go.
Yeah. That'll be an easy one for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kevin, man, it has been a pleasure to have you
Likewise.
here, to spend some time with you and just build that relationship and friendship. Man, I think forever you'll be tied to this, to me in this podcast with Enrique us
Yeah.
here. So thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, it's really a pleasure. It's an honor.
Yeah, it was an honor. Yeah, it was it was a goal of ours to sit down with somebody
it was a goal.
with
Yes,
the
it was.
restaurant
It's a milestone
business
for us.
owner. So
Yeah.
thank you
Very
for
good.
letting us reach that
Of
milestone.
course,
Yeah.
anytime.
Appreciate your time.
And best of luck to you guys. I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Man,
thank you.
thank you. It means
Yeah.
a lot. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of So NWA. Like we said in the beginning, Enrique and I, we just appreciate all the time and listens you guys tune-ins to us. How do you say it? We really appreciate you all tuning in
Yeah.
every time,
There you
and
go.
we do our best to really serve our community and work with the community.
Absolutely.
So, but guys, we will catch you on the next episode. Take care. Thank you.